Hello everyone, welcome to the latest episode of the Tea Break. I'm Varun and this is where we talk most things cricket. It is a season of T20s. The World Cup is coming up very soon in India and the IPL is going to be the biggest showcase for that World Cup to understand who are the players that are going to make a difference. But before the IPL, even each and every international game, international T20 is super important because that helps us to understand how the teams are going to line up, what are their combinations and what are the key players in their squad. And in light of that, I watched the Australia-New Zealand T20 today to try and understand and highlight for you guys who are the key players in those squads and what are possibly areas of improvement for those sides. So when I looked at Australia first, a clear sign of concern is their top order, especially Aaron Finch, who needs to fire. He's not been playing well throughout the IPL. He's not played well again in this T20. He's not been picked for the IPL again, so he's not going to have too much of T20 cricket before the World Cup. So these are games that he should be firing in. Unfortunately today he failed. So that's a point of concern for them. The other spot not so much because David Warner comes back. He's not playing in New Zealand at the moment. Matthew Wade was opening and Matthew Wade actually did again look in very good touch. So got out cheaply but looked in good form. So Wade and Carey, that's going to be like a toss-up. But if Finch doesn't perform, then I think Matthew Wade and David Warner might as well just open. In the middle order, Glenn Maxwell obviously is their biggest player in T20 matches for Australia, and again today he didn't fire. He got out at for one. But Glenn Maxwell has two sides to him even within the Australian team. If he comes in between over 11 and 20, that's when he's most effective. That's when he can really take the game away from the opposition. Today he came at I think 10 for 3 or 11 for 3, that was the score, and that's the time when he's not effective because he has to then try and rotate the strike, try and not hit sixes and fours right off the bat but actually keep his wicket, and that's when he nicks off like he did today. So for Australia it's important that they actually survive till Maxwell comes in, maybe between 11 to 20, most likely between 15 and 20, and that's when he can really take the game away from them. The third player who I think is going to be very crucial for Australia, who today bowled quite well, was Adam Zampa. He's going to probably play every single game of the World Cup. And why I say this is because of the speed that he bowls. He's a wrist spinner, but he was bowling today at 89 to 95 kilometers an hour, and that's extremely quick for a spin. And on Indian wickets, that grip and turn even during T20 games, Zampa is going to be a crucial player for Australia. So these three players I thought for Australia I needed to just highlight a bit. One more is Stoinis, who bowls a couple of overs in the middle and then can play the big shots. Didn't have much to do today, but he's going to also form an important part of the team. The players missing for them were David Warner at the top, like I mentioned. Pat Cummins wasn't playing, Mitchell Starc wasn't playing, Steve Smith wasn't playing. So not a full Australian side that'll probably show up for the World Cup, but these 3-4 players who I mentioned are going to be critical and they will play in this World Cup. Didn't fire today. None of them actually fired today. Now let's look at New Zealand. Everyone talks about them as overachievers, but I think they are not. I think they achieve exactly the way they are set up because they are an extremely good side. For them, a point of concern again at the top, Martin Guptill not really firing, hasn't been playing a lot of cricket, is not picked for the IPL again, so won't have too much experience before he comes to the World Cup. So someone again they really rely on to give them that quick start at the top because he's the one who sort of clears the boundaries very effectively. Didn't fire today, definitely need him. The middle order looks very sorted with Williamson always dependable. I mean, he today again unfortunate, but he'll play 9 out of 10 times. He's going to score a lot of runs. Where I was really surprised about was Devon Conway. He's a terrific player. In the last 8 games in T20 internationals, he averages more than 85. Having said that, he's played his cricket only in New Zealand, so he'll be really tested when he comes to India. But if both Williamson and Conway are firing, then it looks like a very solid and sorted middle order for New Zealand. And finally, their bowling. I was very impressed with both their spinners, and that makes me think they're going to be very big title contenders in India. Both Santner and Sodhi are quite good in terms of drifting the ball and looping it in the air. The Australian batsmen could not play them today, and so I think these both of these guys are going to be very crucial in India. And if the ball swings in, say, a place like Wankhede, then Trent Bolt is an absolute nightmare for any batsman. He proved that today as well, broke the top order of Australia, and another gun player, also a great fielder in the side for New Zealand. So again, New Zealand look a much more settled side, although Australia aren't playing their full squad. But when it comes to the World Cup, I think New Zealand are again going to be very strong contenders for the title, even though the World Cup is in India. So let's see how that goes. Now, before I sign off, just a quick mention about the India T20 squad for England. 3 new players picked in the squad: Suryakumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan, and Tewatia. People who aren't playing are Jadeja. Obviously, he's injured from the last time that India played T20s, and so these 3 get a chance, which is a great thing for Suryakumar Yadav, because not only has he performed well in the IPL, if you look at his list A and first class record, also averages about 45 in those games, has played for Mumbai, played for India A as well. So congratulations to him, excellent achievement there. And then we've picked Ishan Kishan and Tewatia because I think we consider those as X-factor players. Ishan Kishan we've picked instead of Samson because he can keep, and I think he is a bit more dependable now, especially for Mumbai Indians. So we've picked him. Tewatia hasn't really played too many first-class games. I think we've just picked him again for that X-factor and nothing more. And also because I think we like those left-right combinations in the middle order. Not sure he will get a game, but I'm sure Suryakumar and Ishan Kishan both might get games in this series, especially if we win the first couple of T20 internationals. So this was my video for today. Australia, New Zealand, as the games move on, I'll keep coming up with these videos, and of course the test match is coming up very soon, which is extremely exciting. Thank you very much, and see you guys soon.